Hey everybody, welcome to Gen Con 2019. This is the inaugural stream, and we are pretty stoked to be playing some Dungeons & Dragons with you in the Noir, which means Eberron. And I am Ruty Rutenberg. I will be your Dungeon Master for this maybe murder hobo-esque, maybe not, type of espionage, maybe, situation, I don't know. And I have some really awesome guests who I'm going to allow to introduce themselves. But first, I want to make a very quick thank you to Gen Con, obviously, for making all this stuff possible, and to Dwarven Forge, and there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Dwarven Forge and to D&D Beyond for putting a nice little package-ish thing together where we have some giveaway for people in the audience, and we also have a giveaway for people at home. So, you know, if you're there, you don't have to be left out just because you didn't make it here, but do it next year. So let's start down with Nate on the end over there. And why don't you tell people who you are and maybe your character is kind of like just general aesthetic appeal. As objectively as possible.
I'm Nate from Dwarven Forge, and today I'll be playing a very sneaky monk. Uh-oh, I have no voice. Oh, I'm so sneaky. I'm Kerhasi, wild elven monk, and I killed a man. That was pretty cool. And I look really wily and like I can climb anything and probably die if I get hit once. Yeah.
And that was Kerhasi, yes?
Kerhasi, yes. It's Elven for don't ask what it means.
Yeah. It sounded Elven for I'm speaking into a hood, but I just wanted to double check.
Well, yeah, that's the human. Yeah.
Fair, yeah. Okay.
Hi, I'm Cindy. I am playing a changeling, a bar changeling that is not musical. I am a reporter for hire. I'd like to get as much information to the highest bidder. My name is Trix. My other persona that is the reporter, her name is Drusilla. She is a half-elf that she turns into, so I'm a little bit more trustworthy at that point. She, as a regular changeling in her normal, as Trix, she's got the white hair. Sometimes she's got the white eyes. Sometimes they could be green, sometimes even blue. Depends on who she feels, what she feels like doing for the day. And then as Drusilla, she's like a Betty Page kind of a character where she's got the black long hair with the bangs, and she's very curvy and likes to dress very professional because she's got to make sure that she makes it all look good so everyone can feel comfortable enough to give the information that they don't want to necessarily give.
How much World War II did you study?
I didn't study. I don't call it studying. I call it enjoying.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Okay, there's a certain romanticism around that whole reporter spy thing from World War II.
It's my favorite. Is it that obvious?
But it's appropriate for Eberron.
Yes.
Nina?
Hi, everybody. I'm Nina from Dwarven Forge. I'm playing Gertrude Crookshanks, who is your Nana. Just picture your grandmother, tiny, tiny, tiny little halfling, rogue, elderly woman. I have gray hair. I'm up there in years, so I have wrinkles but I'm still spry. I still got it.
That's me, I guess. I'm Adam with D&D Beyond, and I am playing Arlo Garrett, who is a wand-slinging cowboy, baby. That's it.
Yeah,
It's going to be perfect for espionage.
What do you look like?
Huh?
What do you look like?
What do I look like? I am a half-orc, very handsome half-orc, bearded, perfect point of the ears, and I wear a little bit of a floppy hat that kind of covers my eyes most of the time, striking silhouette. Little bit of a longer coat, that I am probably going to be tucking a little bit, for this mission, because apparently I have to be quiet. I don't know.
Would you like me to sew the hem for you?
Oh, that would be outstanding. So while I'm talking, go ahead.
Hashtag tuck your coat.
Tuck your coat. Yeah, that's it. So we're going to see how Arlo's typical blunt tactics apply to a very strategic mission.
And you're going to have to explain that to people because unless anybody at home or here has watched some of the previous, what we call the tip of the quill, which is kind of like the side games around the Inkwell Society universe, they may not know that your character is a regular, and they may not know about the other situations that you've been on.
That is correct. So Mr. Patrick Rothfuss played with us the last time, and his character Bailey runs the organization that we're a part of. And we can't tell you what the organization's called because we'd have to kill everyone in here. But ultimately, the organization is this hush-hush thing, and Mr. Bailey last time started giving out demerits to everyone when they did not perform up to his exacting standards. So ultimately, apparently, I don't really know why, probably because I was the only one available to come today. I am in charge, and I get to actually dole out the demerits and everything about what we're trying to do. The reminder, the word that brings everyone back to the mission at hand is strategic. Strategic.
Oh, is that your interpretation of?
That's what I got from it. Yes.
Okay, all right. This will be a lot of fun, especially if Bailey ever finds out. I'm into it. So I'm also going to try here to give us a little bit of ambiance via some Sirenscape. It's not mic'd up, so it's going to be completely ambient.
Epic sound.
They do. That is, you are a promotional juggernaut. What is the D&D Beyond?
Play with advantage.
Ooh.
So does that mean we get advantage on all our rolls?
That sure.
I use D&D Beyond.
As far as I'm concerned, yes.
I use D&D Beyond to make my character, so I get advantage on my
That's
rolls.
perfect.
You heard it here.
Advantage every roll.
I think, okay, so let's see. Advantage gives you roughly 5 extra, so I just have to raise the DC by 5 on everything?
Oh.
Okay. That's fair.
I didn't say anything.
And you can't have double advantage, right?
No.
Okay, so just the
Only
DCs for
applies
everything are
once.
going up by 5. Got it. Feel free to come on in. Yeah, whatever. Somebody's supposed to take tickets, but
Don't worry about
just,
it.
leave it on
Rip
the chair.
it yourself.
Yeah. So let's see. It also may not come up on the iPad without me turning on the noise. Yeah, and I don't really
you do
want
have
to
to
do
hit
that.
the volume.
Okay. Well, it's more that I'm worried about like email pings and things like that. So we just, we'll whatever. You can pretend because this is make believe.
I'll just hum the whole time.
Okay. Do. So basically, I'll give you guys a quick rundown at home for anybody who's not up to speed, and then I will give you guys the prefaced goals, and then paint you a picture. So after the events of the now infamous, what the Korenberg Chronicler has now dubbed the infamous Dragon Shard Confidential, as seen on D&D Beyond's Twitch. The turncoat, Arlo, leads his best in a heist to recover. Best is okay for you all? Is that?
You could have
feel
said
like that's
Elven
accurate?
best, but we'll go with that.
All right. In a heist to recover a famous painting on display within one of the most guarded estates in Sharn, before it can be exchanged for a record-setting shipment. Sorry, I thought we ended up getting
That's not
music.
me. That's not me humming.
A record-setting shipment of Dream Lily by the Amante Syndicate. Working with the resources of a kingpin known as Bailey, the operatives must retrieve it without alerting the syndicate of the theft in order to turn their leadership against each other. Your goal, and you have no choice on whether to accept it or not, is to infiltrate the estate and steal the artwork without drawing the suspicion away from those present so that you can disrupt the volatile truce between the Amati Syndicate and its supplier. A secondary goal might be to learn where the Dream Lily supply lines are coming from and or the point of contact, but only if it can be done without jeopardizing the actual mission. All right? The information that Bailey has been able to get you about this estate lets you know that there are essentially two ways in undetected. One is the sewers below. The benefit to the sewers is that there will likely not be patrols or guard dogs. The other way in is through the ventilation shaft. However, there is an expansive garden around the outside of the estate, which does feature patrols and watchdogs. And so, you have a little bit of a decision to make as the four of you stand on one of the lifts, moving up towards the upper Duras. And as you make your way off this very special lift that takes you not only to the base level of that, but actually to one of the high rises, you can look down over the estate and see the, I don't want to call it a maze, but you can see the expansive gardens and tall hedges that unfold before the estate. And this estate does not look necessarily as though it fully belongs in Sharn. This estate has more of a sire, or Kyrie, or Sir, depending on where you're from, bless you. And so it has like a little bit more of, in order to put it like in our terms, like in real world terms, it has a little bit more of a French aesthetic. So not quite Versailles, but it's got a little bit of that little love to it. Okay? So as always, the sun is setting in Sharn. The magical neon lights are starting to glow from below. And the ever-present clouds give you a little bit of an echo, letting you know that it's likely to start raining. Nice. As always. What would you like to do? I suppose we should.
Question.
Oh, you have a question?
What's the art look like? What are we stealing?
Okay. So, from what you understand, it is a very famous piece that is depicting a battle, but an unlikely person in the battle, because it's actually a painting. The battle is in the background, and the person standing there is actually documenting it in a Bob Ross sort of way.
They're painting the battle?
They're painting the battle, so it is a painting of a painting of a battle.
Painter painting.
Yes, and the thing that makes this one so engaging is that the painter who is painting the battle, not the painter painting the battle, but the painter is sort of breaking the fourth wall because he's looking back at you. It's definitely a painting that you would have seen at some point. And it is supposed to be one of the most historically accurate. But you're not really sure why, because the battle in the background is almost undecipherable. Indecipherable because it's out of focus.
Is it called Happy Catapults?
Do you want it to be called Happy Catapults?
Yes.
It wasn't, but it can be.
All right.
Its name had a little bit more to do with clues, but I can call it Happy Catapults.
Yeah, let's
What
do
was
it.
our other option?
What was the original name?
Lost our first clue.
Who needs clues?
off to
It is now Happy Catapult.
Happy Catapult.
Yeah, because
Thanks,
in
Ronald.
Eberron, decisions have consequences.
Oh, great. See what you did there?
He knows better too. Like this is not the first time
And
he's
he's
played
in
with
charge,
me.
right?
Yeah.
Oh.
And you will notice as your esteemed leader is doling out what the name of the painting is. This doesn't sound like what you recall, but since none of you brought the dossiers, all you can recall is there was definitely not a catapult anywhere in it. But that doesn't matter. It is called the Happy Catapult. Any other?
And the estate is elevated, right? It's up in.
Well, it's on one of the higher duras, but I wouldn't say that it is necessarily elevated beyond like where the gardens are. If you want, we can say that there's like maybe not a parapet, but like just a little bit of an elevation that was purposely built up, and then the gardens start, and then there would definitely be stairs leading up towards it, and pillars around the outside.
Hey, boss, what do you think?
I suppose we need to decide if we're all going to do this. It sounds like, we have a choice in the matter. I just want to make sure that.
Why are you singling me out? You got a problem?
I'm pointing in that
Are you talking about elves?
direction. Hey, we don't want to start this thing off with a demerit now.
Are you threatening me?
Bailey has put me in authority here, and I expect a little bit of respect. Right?
Sorry, I've got anger issues, okay?
Obviously. But
I'd like some respect for my anger issues, okay?
We rode all the way up this lift, and apparently we're on the doorstep of this place. I think everybody wants to do this mission, but just want to make sure.
Gotta.
All right. What do you got to for?
It's what we discussed before. Remember my grandson and the gambling and the college?
I think that's why I chose you, but I forgot. All right. All right. We're going to do this, though. Are we doing sewer, or are we going to traipse through this garden here?
And there's always the option of, coming up with some sort of lie to get into the front door, but your goal is to get in and out without being noticed if possible.
So not the front door.
I mean, I'm not taking any options off the table.
You could probably flirt your way in, but what about the rest of us?
I could distract them for you, and I don't know if that's, maybe if needed, I'll just say that I found my way in, if I have to. But I'll come along with you, Arlo.
I'm not quite as skilled as you, but I can be anybody that I want to be. And then you see Arlo's face starts to change, and then he's like, I can be whoever I need to be, see?
And mine starts to change also, and I'm like, that's right.
Very good, very good. So
The
how
night
are we
is-
going to do this?
Do we even think you're going to fit through the grate in the garden?
Are you saying that I've got too much girth
Well,
here?
you're a strapping young lad.
I'm not that young, but yeah, I can squeeze.
All right.
I've been on flying contraptions before. I've had to do this.
So wait, strategery, right? That was our
Strategic.
Strategic. So the strategic, these human words, the strategic way to go probably go through the sewer, right? That's the least chance of detection.
I'm
a second story man. I prefer to go up high, but the sewer seems like the last place they'd be looking. We can get all the way in.
There were puppies in the garden.
What did you say?
You want me to kill them?
Puppies?
Yeah, I believe there are some puppies in the garden.
Who's got the highest intelligence score?
I got an 8.
Okay.
It is not I.
Okay.
I don't believe mine is high.
Well,
We're
have
looking
an
at the
11,
half orc.
so it looks like I am
You have an 11?
Yeah, my
averagely above everyone else.
Okay. All right. Well, nobody hit where we needed to hit for that. So yeah, go ahead with the regular scheduled programming.
Sewers.
All right.
Sewers.
But puppies.
Well, you know what we do? Here's what we do. We'll steal the puppies after we steal the art.
We'll set them free.
Steal.
Okay.
Yeah,
That'd make
I
a
don't think
good
they're
story too.
prisoners, really, but yeah, okay.
So I'm picking up that we've added a third objective to the already daunting list.
Well, they're imprisoned
Time
puppies.
permitting.
Sure. Okay. Now I just want to be clear. I'm just trying to understand the world.
Being honest, that third objective is probably actually second objective.
Okay.
You're the boss.
All right, sewers it is. But listen, can you help me?
Can we frame
hem
the
this one
syndicate?
more
Oh, I've
time?
been hemming the
stealing
whole
the
time
puppy.
you've been talking.
I'm not gonna pull the coat through all that sludge.
I can rip it off for you.
I've already hemmed it. It's about a foot off the ground.
She hemmed all of my garb.
Does anyone know how to get to the sewers?
And then you're at the sewers, making your way. I was just going to go ahead and let you go to the sewers. So you make your way to. I mean, clearly you're all filthy and deserve to know where this is. So as you walk up to the sewers, there is a very pungent. I always get this word. It's always tough for me. Pungent, repugnant odor that wafts over you, and you see that the tide has definitely been rising for all ships in the sewers.
I pull out my bottle of perfume and I just start spraying as I'm walking.
And for the moment that you are within it, it seems to mask it to a degree. But this seems to be pretty pervasive. And you soon realize that your allies, whatever scent that they had before, seems to be very masked by this new odor. Before you traipse too far along, now I'll take intelligence roll. I'll take an investigation check.
Oh,
I am definitely an investigator. I can give it a shot.
Ooh, 19 on the
11.
die.
Yeah, good.
14?
14?
That's why I'm the leader.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, wasn't good. That's a good roll.
I got 11.
11, okay.
I'm hiding.
So, Arlo, as you make your way, starting to lead the group in there, you do get a couple whiffs of the perfume, and you think okay, that's not. Oh, it's gone already. Oh. If we go through this, it might be the easiest way to avoid any entanglement on the way in, but it also might make us a little bit more conspicuous.
We're going to be wet and stinky.
We're going to
So,
smell.
Oh, no.
a question
That doesn't
from
help me.
Arlo's past. So Arlo has ended up in several situations where he has either rode hard and been put up wet, or some variation of that, right? And
Okay.
so he has a spell, a cantrip that he uses very frequently to clean himself. Prestidigitation. And he's clean.
You've got
Do I feel like that use of my spellcraft would be able to hide the odor once we exited the sewers?
One could use prestidigitation to unsoil garments. And this would fall within that realm. However, you would also be pretty keen to the idea that it would need to be done per item. And
So take off all our clothes.
you could do that.
It's getting rank in
This
here.
solves itself.
So
Wouldn't
take
be my
off
first
all our
time.
clothes, yeah.
And then what are you gonna just prestidigitation a backpack or something?
I thought we were taking all our clothes.
How high is the
So we're
water?
putting
So wait,
clothes
okay,
in a
so
bag
I just
and
want to be
carrying it
clear.
above the water.
I just want to be clear that I'm understanding.
Prestidigitate our
We're just going to
skin.
get buck naked and go through the sewers.
Yeah, so we're gonna leave everything else behind and
we're
infiltrate
We
naked.
can carry our stuff over
No.
our head.
I mean my
Yeah, so it
wand.
doesn't get wet. The smell won't cling.
Oh, okay. We can definitely roll for that when we get inside.
This is the perfect plan. This is
I'm into it. I don't care. I'm not telling you one way is better than the other. If you really want to know, I'll reveal a little bit behind the screen here. If you go in through the roof,
Ooh, there's a roof.
well, yeah, there was
On
a
the second
roof
story,
with
maybe.
air vents. If you go through that, it's a little bit of a maze. So
Go
there are pros and consequences to everything.
So
here.
I imagine in this organization, though, we easily have access to adventuring essentials. So I think that I reach back into my pack and pull out a bag of holding that could hold all of our clothes and the safety of an extra dimensional space.
So, these things would not be entirely uncommon in Eberron. I would assume that we would actually be able to get them pretty easily. I would think that may be something that that Bailey would want you to have. However, we're also going to need to see whether or not you remember to bring it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
You can do this. You can do this.
I will let you pick whether this is going to be a intelligence or wisdom check, and it'll be flat because none of us are really proficient in either of those.
I don't know if he's proficient in any of that.
It's just going to be
so
intelligence.
we're
or
going to say
wisdom,
intelligence.
Yeah. Okay.
He's not very wise.
You got this, boss. You
Before
got
the
this.
mission, didn't I tell him, hey, did you bring a sweater? Did you bring your bag? I didn't
You
give him
probably
a-
went through that stuff, but it was very.
Yes.
I'm
Is it
assuming
in that
that's
20?
a-
What are we talking
I'm
about?
assuming
Yes,
that's
that's
a
It sounds like this is our new crit music, so from now on,
I mean, that 20 minutes
everybody,
is like...
we're gonna need to go ahead and do some.
So that means, I'm pretty sure that means you brought bags of holding for everybody, right? In that 20?
There's one.
Oh.
Wait, we're playing with advantage, remember?
Okay, I'm raising the DC then.
Oh, okay, no. We got one bag of holding. We don't need much. We don't need much.
JK.
All right, let's just get
It's a
naked.
bag of holding. I
Let's
mean,
do
how
this.
much
Let's just
gear
get
did you
naked.
bring?
We're just getting naked. I
You
take
can
off my
take
clothes.
500 pounds.
I take off my clothes.
Okay.
Loincloth and all. Buck naked.
As
Brunelle,
you look
check it
back,
out.
as you bring out the bag of holding, you look over and notice that Karasi is already stripped all the way down,
Buck naked.
standing there,
I've got glitter on in other places too, just in case you...
because his
I keep it
you a
low key.
vampire?
his other job from another game. that we
Hey,
played
let's keep it low
once.
key. Let's keep it low key.
Okay. All right.
You don't need to talk about my what I do at night to pay the bills. Okay?
Sure. All right. So you all take a few minutes, pack up the clothes into the bag of holding, and I will say that very good job on negotiating this little puzzle. As you slosh naked through a wonderful assortment and bouquet of scents down through the sewer, and counting your paces, recognize that you are now underneath the estate, and that there is basically only one pipe large enough for you to make your way up through.
And we're well greased now, so.
You are well greased.
We're also closer as a group, I feel.
There's no
Right?
secrets here now.
Probably.
No.
Oh, that's an interesting question. Did the changeling change anything about her? Is she?
I was gonna say something. Yes, I actually changed. I look like
into a boat. So we
like a
could've just
very I know, right. No, I look like a very I look at our half orc and I turn into like this green half orc also to like kind of hide what I actually look like naked. So that way to me I still feel like I'm clothed, and that way you feel comfortable because you're the boss, and I just want to make sure that whatever I change into.
So she's green nosing. I like
Yes. She's
How I work
green-nosing.
things.
I'm into it. We're having a great time. Let's shimmy up this pipe. We will need athletics
hell
checks. But I feel like Greece would actually work inverse to this. But you know what? Since you mentioned it, I will give you advantage on the shimmy.
You know, wait, how far up do we have to go?
You don't know.
Do you want me to, climbing's kind of my thing. I even have a climbing kit.
That's why you're here.
Block and tackle, whatever you need.
That's
you
in
want
the
me?
bag right now, though.
All right, I don't need it. I'm naked. It's cool. So I can climb up and like drop a rope down or something of the sort. If you.
That's perfect. Where are you getting the rope?
From your bag.
Oh, okay.
It's in my backpack,
That
which
makes
is in your
sense.
bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I literally have a block and tackle. I've got a. It's and that's just. It's silken rope. It's only the finest. I pre-knotted it a little bit for people that aren't good at climbing. And I have a block and tackle too. If we could set up a thing. I know you're a little like. You guy was kind of. I heard you were girthy, right? That was the word on the street.
I just don't understand why this has to come up every.
I'm saying I can help you. Just.
That's it. I'm gonna get serious. I'm gonna buy a Bowflex.
Bowflex, like an actual like longbow that you just kind of like. All right.
I've got a grappling hook too. I could just hook it right to you. You don't have to do anything. You could just.
This is a very conversational stealth group. I'm just saying.
I'm very close after spending all this time naked in the sewers together. I just want to.
Normally
I just
there's
want to
less
feel
talking,
comfortable.
yeah.
All right, so I'm rolling. Why am I rolling with advantage? I have advantage.
Yes.
All right, cool.
For your grease.
Athletics. It's.
Just a straight roll or
Huh?
a straight roll or?
Well, he's doing. It's
So it's
athletics.
18.
18. All right, so you're able to make your way up. You realize that it's roughly 30-ish feet to get up
Child's
there, which would, for anybody else, take probably twice as long as it took you. But with a rope, and especially with your immaculate quality, the immaculate quality in which you made that choice of getting silk and knotting it, I'm sure that it is going to be a very easy climb for everyone else. And you've just saved them having to roll on it whatsoever.
Boom.
Despite how funny any of them falling into the muck below would be, I'll save that for later.
Hey, this is what I do. I climb.
So you climb, you get up there, you drop down a rope, and everyone has the opportunity to make their way up. We don't have any humans, so everybody here, oh wait, changelings, no night vision, yeah.
I do have light, so I go in after. I'll go in last. I'll go in, and that way I'll have a really dim light that I'll light up behind us, and then as soon as I can see that we're coming to the end, not only do I turn the light off, but then I'm going to change myself and then ask for my clothes before I get inside, and I'll change inside the hole.
So I'll assume that it's Karhasi, unless somebody else wants to take point going through the tunnel. It's going to get cramped here. It's about 5 feet wide at best.
Sorry, it's tough.
But in places it will definitely be considerably more clogged. So who would like to take lead?
Want me to wriggle through us?
If you lead, I'll go right on. I'll
Sure.
watch your 6.
My 6?
That's your way of. That's very coy. It's very coy.
You're watching my 6?
You're a 7.
Ooh.
You're 9.
I didn't know. So,
How many butt cheeks do you have?
this is a very personal question.
Well, we're all friends here now, clearly.
2, but they are pointed in Elven, you know.
Okay, so then I will allow you just to give me the stealth check.
Ooh, yeah. Are we still advantage because of our grease? Oh wait, here, wait.
Yeah,
wait,
why not?
Wait, let's.
Sewage sludge is going to provide advantage throughout the entire
Now I'm
thing.
stealthy.
Oh, okay, yes, now absolutely advantage on that. That was the deciding factor.
This one is roll up on the thing. You saw that, right?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it's canted. Okay, sure.
What do you think of that? 19.
19. All right, so you're able to make your way through. You're even allowed to kind of like sidestep and point out some of the landmines on the way through.
Whoa.
I'll leave a trail of red glitter for them.
Okay. We'll say in the dim light coming off of the light cantrip that the changeling behind you, Trix, is carrying, there are now red glittered turds everywhere that you are able to easily avoid while making your way through. And as you get to the final grate, you can see that there's kind of like a little area up here where it's actually not disgusting because this is just water drainage at this point. It is no longer the lowest point.
So
in
we
which
shower in the water? Bird bath? Like,
it's not raining quite yet, but you we'll just say that if you were to go ahead and start prestidigitating, you wouldn't need to worry. You could put your clothes back on before you come out of the grate.
So
we could also choose to stay naked.
You could, and filthy. I'm not taking anything off the table here.
I need to know what you're doing, though, because it's going to influence what I'm about to do.
You're the boss. What should I do?
Well, you should put on your clothes.
Fine.
And so I start to take everything out of the bag, give everyone back their things. And then I also...
Before or after the prestidigitating?
I prestidigitate first. This takes a little while.
Yeah.
I literally have to just trace my fingers
I'm rotating.
over every
Over my
inch.
6?
Yeah, every nook and cranny, and get everyone as spotless as possible.
Do you think maybe you could prestidigitate me instead?
Yeah, as long as you got some info for me.
What sort of info?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the monk.
Are you trading secrets here for prestidigitation?
Yeah.
I could tell you about the secret society behind this room.
We'll talk later.
What are they talking about?
I'm
she's
a
just
little hard of hearing.
prestidigitating
I
me
can't
over
quite
here.
tell.
I also have prestidigitation, if I could say
Oh,
that correctly. So
you do.
he asked if I could for him, and I said as long as he had some
Of
info.
course, I knew that. That's why you're on this mission.
Yes.
So
That was part of your plan. It was like-
yeah, obviously part of my plan.
Genius.
So I take out a roll of stickers.
He's got this. He's got it half right. Like this whole thing, he's got half right.
I peel off a little star that's like a little glittery and golden, and then I wait for clothing to be on you, and then I stick it onto your chest. Oh, what do we have here?
We got stickers. Here.
Okay.
Props.
Very, very important. Very
Even better
important.
than gold stars, they're Dwarven Forge
All right.
stickers.
This is, so they were out of, I don't know how to peel this. What am I doing? They were out of gold stars when Bailey told me to go get those.
Yeah, he just said stickers, right? So.
Yeah, so I got Dwarven, do you know how to, can you help me out with this?
Well,
Apparently big sausage
mission
fingers.
ground to
Gen
a
Con's
halt.
got
We
some
have to-
strong
Big
feelings about
sausage
these.
fingers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You peel like this.
There, yeah. Okay.
He's
So
got
we're just gonna. Don't worry about it right now.
Oh, he's got it. Yeah, that's fine. What that means is everything that you just did was very strategic.
Good job.
So well done.
100% stratacution.
That's it.
Let's do this. That's Elvin.
I don't think it is.
Stratacution? Yeah. We made that up.
Sounds good to me.
All words are made up.
All right. All words are made up. That is true. Okay. So you have prestidigitated each other, which it's cleaner than it actually sounds.
It's very clean.
Yeah. And then you have put your garments back on and are back into full-out spy infiltration mode.
Is that true?
As far as I understand it, it's my theater of the mind too. I don't know. You tell me if there's a mix-up here.
Yes, we're being strategic.
Okay. And then somebody will need to get the grate off
Oh, I can do that.
Who's strong?
as quietly
Does it have
as possible.
screws?
It does on the outside.
Oh,
Did anybody happen to prep
Mage
Mage
hand.
Hand?
didn't think about that.
Did I?
I mean, I don't think.
You've got little
How-
tiny
how
I
hands.
don't
big
think
is
with
the
my
grate?
mage
She's
She's
hand
got
I
granny
can.
hands. It's way better than mage hand.
How
Granny
big
hands.
are the slats? I got little tiny little halfling nimble little fingers.
Why don't you? Oh, halfling too?
Yeah.
Why don't you make me an elderly roll?
An elderly roll.
Just a flat.
Is
flag.
high good? Got
You,
17?
your hands are just small enough. You're gonna have to stand on somebody's shoulders, but your hands are just small enough
All right.
that you can get.
I'm already
Because
climbing
I'm
up your
big.
back.
Yeah, you're a big platform.
I'm already climbing up your back.
Very well.
All right, so instead of that, what we'll do is we'll allow you to. You can give me a sleight-of-hand check, and then whose shoulders are you standing on?
I'm standing on his shoulders,
can give
but
me
we
a strength
can't let
check.
this grate just clash down. Everybody.
Yeah, he's
We
gonna
gotta-
give me a strength check.
Okay. Sleight of hand, that'll be a 19.
Woo!
19.
Yeah.
All right, so you're able to get all the screws out and pass them down very quietly, very practiced as you've done before. Arlo, I'm going to need a strength check from you.
I mean, she's what, 30 pounds?
It's not about that.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Can I help him?
All of a sudden, that 30
What
pounds.
What happened to
doesn't
that
seem
roll
so-
Can I
with
help?
advantage?
That is a 4.
Ooh, I've got my pole. Can I extend my pole? It's 10-foot pole. Right? No, I have this thing. I have a pole I can extend. It's
He does.
an elven pole.
It's a thing that we talked about. I did say yes.
Can I just extend my pole?
Yes, but I don't understand how extending the pole is going
To
like.
hold
He's
the grate.
holding it up
Right
so it
up to
doesn't
the-
clatter.
I'm just gonna hold the grate like a clown with a plate on a thing.
Yeah, but that takes an extreme amount of balance and
That's all I do.
practice. And those plates weigh ounces.
Do you know how many heists we've done together? We've been practicing this move for years.
All right, fine.
That's why I chose
Fine.
them.
I will allow a collective roll,
Okay.
uh,
I better unstealth through this.
and I will give you the choice of whether or not everybody is going to roll it, or if just the two of you are going to roll it.
Everybody's more fun, right?
It is
Yeah.
kind of more fun.
Yeah.
And we already have a 4 on the table, so.
Oh, is that, I leave my 4? Okay.
And I leave the one.
What are we
in.
rolling?
Womp womp.
And you can leave your 17 for your.
Is this
That was
Yeah.
a 19
Acrobatics?
actually for the.
honestly, I think that it's got to be sleight of hand
Okay.
because it's
Understand,
the
okay.
pole with the plate. And then, do you want to participate in this, or you want to just watch this?
I mean, first I'm just watching the shenanigans, but I know I got to get ready to catch somebody or be there to kind of pull up if I have to.
Okay, so let's say that you're kind of you're holding your action to help catch the grace. So if you want to
Spotting.
give me a, would you think that you were strong enough to actually catch it, or do you think maybe you would just use your body to break the fall of it?
I would probably have to use my body to break
Okay.
the fall, to be honest.
All right, then
Good plan.
then
I mean,
how
that's your
about
thing,
you
you
give
use
me
your
an
body.
insight check?
An insight check.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And we're gonna play this off in a series of events.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
That is going
so,
to be 22.
did you 22? Great.
Yeah.
That is great.
13 sleight of hand.
All right. So, as you make your way across the top, unscrewing each screw, you start to pass them down. This kind of confuses Arlo in a way where he thinks he's supposed to both hold onto your feet and try and do the passing along. It causes the balance.
He's holding my feet.
You're on his shoulder.
Right,
He's
but
got to stabilize
I
you.
can balance.
No, that's why we're where we are with him
Okay,
still having a
fine.
4.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, it's not like I didn't take it into account.
He's confused. Yeah.
I thought I needed to hold your feet.
So you know he's doing his best. Okay,
the
nobody's.
last person I had to hold their feet.
Yeah, they didn't make it. So you got everybody squared away, and you're starting to like hand these things down. And unfortunately, that means that when the grate comes down, he's not ready to catch it. However, Karasi is ready with his 10-foot pole, quickly extends it out, and is able to kind of brace it as it slides a little down the pole before it twists and falls off. Luckily, the sound of a metal grate hitting a metal pipe is circumvented by a very specific changeling prostrating herself out to have the vent crash down on her back.
Oof.
And through the glorious failures of the rest of your team, but your glorious success, you will only take 1d4 damage.
Okay.
As the grate requires you to get a chiropractic adjustment tomorrow.
So I'm gonna roll a d4.
Yeah, roll a d4.
Oh.
That's 4.
Okay.
You might have slipped a disc there. That was like-
I'm gonna have bruises, but thank God I can cover those up when I change.
I quickly
So.
pull the grate off of her.
That was very gentlemanly of you.
I pull out my sticker roll.
Next one's free.
That was a great catch.
Pull out the sticker roll. Very strategic.
I get a smile that you don't see. I kind of turn around, I'm like,
Where you gotta
yes.
stick. Here, take this, I'll trade this one's open.
All right, and then with the stealth check that we had before, I will say that you're able to, you're just able to kind of like get up and scan the area, and what you recognize is that you are essentially in what would be one of the lower basement levels where they keep the wine. You're in the wine cellar.
You know,
boy.
we might really get in the zone if we had like one drink. You could just like loosen
I think I
this up,
need to.
right? Like,
I can't have my hands shaking for this.
just take the edge off. Like just like,
Can I look around and see what vintages they have?
It depends on the year, so.
Yes, so there are some very interesting, like kind of one of the most famous places for wine would be from Undair. That's where they actually have like magically enhanced growth procedures for the vine. It doesn't necessarily transfer over into anything but like taste and well-being, but it is a very delightful blend. But you do notice, well actually, why don't I just, everybody can give me a perception check. The most overused roll in D&D.
Oh, I get to add.
10.
Okay,
Wine in there.
20.
all right.
You get all these twins?
11.
All right.
Nice.
So as all of you basically look over and see wine cast and start to meander in that direction, Arlo is able to actually pick out a very, very rare, especially since the country doesn't exist anymore, cask of wine from Kyrie.
We have to take it.
I go and take it, and I put it in the bag of holding.
The whole cast?
Yes.
How much does it weigh?
Well, I'm just asking. So
It's less than 500 pounds, right?
I don't know when the last time I weighed a cask of wine is, so I'm gonna say yes.
I did it just the other day. I'm pretty sure.
I was there. I saw it. It came in
Okay.
at like 300.
All right. Sure, but he also didn't tell any of you about it. So you just see him. You guys all go for wine, and he just goes and grabs a random cask off the
We
shelf.
see
and
him grab it.
I think that you would see him move a not quite 500-pound.
What you got there,
cask.
Arlo?
It's something that's going to make sure that little Timmy gets to go to college.
Okay. All right.
I'll be sure to share the love.
Okay.
My body's a temple. I don't drink.
Okay, so we have one person who's abstaining. Who else? Wasn't it your idea? It was your idea.
Such a bad influence.
I like to have people have a good time.
I can see why you didn't make it at the monastery.
Are you challenging my monastic traditions?
I am.
I have anger issues, okay?
I know you do. I read your backstory.
Talking to the air.
So who will be partaking?
I want to smell it before I drink it. I'm very just, I don't know. I don't like to drink when I'm on the job because I like to have a clear head because
Sure.
it allows me
It
to.
smells intoxicating.
I take a sip.
It tastes intoxicating.
I tell him to save some of this for later.
Who?
I ask Arlo, whatever I taste, I hand it to him, and I'm like, can you save some of this for later?
This will be our
So you just have like a little like thing of wine. and
But
just,
yeah, I pulled like
an
a
open
yeah.
bottle, and you just hand it over to him to save.
In an open-
Yes. Do you have a bottle to put this in?
Yes.
There are bottles somewhere else in the cellar if you want to just take some bottles.
Okay, then I grab a bottle
Okay.
and I kind of pour it in there like greedily, and I'm like, can you please save this for me later, Arlo?
Sure.
I have some sealing wax if you'd like to see it.
Oh, I was going to just use my spit or something.
I'll take some sealing wax.
Sealing wax is a good idea.
Are you having any?
The entire time everyone's been doing this, I've been going around and sampling. But you know what? I know my limit.
You do.
Yes.
How many glasses would you feel you have drank?
Well, I mean, it is early in the day, so
No, it's not.
It's
Oh,
late
it's
at
dusk.
night.
It's night, yeah.
It's 5 o'clock
So
somewhere.
probably
It's 1
probably
o'clock.
3, but you got to stay loose. You got to stay.
Okay, you said 3.
Yeah, 3.
What is your Constitution modifier?
My Constitution modifier is a +2.
+2. So 2 of those drinks, 2 of those glasses, no problem whatsoever. On the last one here, now I need a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Yeah, that's 4.
Okay.
That's a
It's okay.
6.
You just feel a little tipsy. But maybe that's how you know that you've reached your
Honestly, this is how I'm most used to doing these heists. Is a little bit tipsy.
limit. Oh, okay. So you're like a Chardonnay grandma.
Yes, I am absolutely a Chardonnay.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay, then I will grant you a D4 to certain skill checks.
It's like wine
All right.
inspiration. It's like
Yeah.
beer muscles.
And this is
She's blessed.
this is not to promote drinking in any way. I'm promoting the cleverness
It's
in which you just
glass
negotiate.
every now and then.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no negative to
You're
I
in
mean,
the
like,
pocket. You're in the pocket.
this is
Go.
the one
Yeah.
time where the consequence is yay. Okay? All right, so you've made your way into the wine cellar. Everybody smells so fresh and so clean. Everybody that needs to be a little tipsy is. And the bag of holding is brimming with the possibilities of Timmy's future. What would you like to do? There appears to be just one very clear exit.
Tricks.
Is there a
Done.
vent in the ceiling?
There is a vent in the ceiling.
I would say,
So
don't
good
you,
job, two
don't
Do
you
extra.
have a
we have
locate
an
I can-
idea
object spell?
of where the painting actually is?
You do know that it is
Fine.
being stored down in the basement, but you are not exactly sure where the pipes would have dropped you out in the grand scheme of things. Your guess is that it would, the painting is supposed to be secured towards the center, and the one of these rooms would have to be peripheral.
Is this object within 1,000 feet?
It would be within 1,000 feet. It, you kind of have to, I believe for locate object, you actually have to have been in the presence of the object.
That's what I. Okay,
Didn't
that
you
was
say
gonna be
we've
my
all
next
seen
option.
you said we've all seen
Seen
happy
it.
catapults.
Seen it, but not been like. I doubt that any of you are of the variety that went to the specific gallery showings. This is definitely an
Maybe I
assumption.
did for a news article.
All right, I will give us the option here.
It was
Why
a
don't
really good
Yeah,
article.
she's classy. She's been to gallery.
roll me?
Yes.
Well,
roll
she was
me.
probably seducing like an art patron, right? to get
You're
me
already getting a
inside.
roll for it. I don't know
Yeah.
how much further you have to convince me.
It was a good party.
If I want percentiles,
Oh, okay.
and if you get a passing grade,
Ooh, purple precision.
Little used, little orbs.
and passing grade on this is going to be a 70.
Okay, so I have to roll both, right?
I mean, unless you get higher than a.
I don't. So
I
I,
don't know
roll
what
this
it
one
is.
Might
afterwards.
as
So
well be fun.
Oh,
It's
it's
like
20?
300. I don't even know how she rolled 300 on it.
How did she roll 300 percentile? Sorry, you've not been in the vicinity of. I don't. Yeah. it's fine.
okay, I didn't go into that room. I was too busy.
Or maybe it wasn't on display that day, or whatever.
I was
So,
in another room, if you know what I mean, trying to get other information.
I will leave that up to
Investigating.
the imagination of the audience here and at home. So, locate object unfortunately won't work in this scenario.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Do you have anything else that can guide us?
Do I feel like
Where's the map?
I have guiding hand.
do I feel like I'm on the verge of any of my ancestry emerging?
No.
I.e., I was gonna choose a feat at the very next level. Like
Are you asking me if you're going to level up in the middle of this?
I don't know.
What did we
like,
get XP
I just feel like my family is really good at finding things.
It is. You have futures for that already.
I can't
let's-
find paintings.
Let's do
I can
this
find
old-fashioned way. Let's
animals or
just-
You can find,
plants.
if you want to try and use it on paintings as a general thing, you can, but it may not
Could
lead
I?
you where you want it to be.
Are the oils in the paint considered plants?
No. No,
I mean, they were at one point, right?
Yeah, they're parts
well,
of
Or
plants.
animals?
Words were
Or-
made
or
up too,
rocks.
but I don't think that we're going to get there on this. I do.
why don't we-
It's not that I don't appreciate the angles that we're trying to take here, but we do have to remain some like.
Why don't we just walk around and find it like the
That
old-fashioned way?
that is actually a much more Arlo idea.
I mean, it might be right through this door.
Well,
It
before
might
we
not
go,
be as strategic, but
Actually, you know what? This actually reminds me. Why don't you roll me an intelligence check?
oh lordy,
You can have advantage.
13. Oh well, 13.
Okay. 13s. Well, this actually 13 is the appropriate number because you realize that you remember that strategic was actually the code word for kill.
Oh,
Kill? We're supposed to kill the painting?
You don't know this.
Oh.
This is only for him.
I realized that at that moment, but I am going to keep pretending that I don't know that.
Okay.
Like I will not let them see their leader bleed.
Sure.
So I'm not gonna confuse in the middle of a heist.
Yeah. Okay. I just hopefully we get to use that again. Like this will come up later. 'Cause
Yes,
I think
I'm
Patrick
sure.
would take
I'm
offense.
sure it will be.
Yeah.
If you want, I don't know. I know you're super sneaky. I don't know about our fearless leader here, but if you want, I'm versed in the arts of shadow. I could weave a shroud of shadows around us to aid us in infiltrating from here. We could sneak our way in.
I'm going to change into what I think, like, what are they called? Like a vintner or something like that? Like people who tend to wine. Someone that I think would be
An alcoholic?
Possibly.
Wait, but why is there a vintner in their wine cellar?
Putting
You
it
could
up.
be a sommelier instead, and you're
Yeah.
getting the wine for the dinner.
That's a
Yeah.
perfect idea.
Yeah.
Somalia was. was
That's
where I
why.
was
That's
going.
why I added you to the team. And so I'm going to turn into that.
The Chardonnay grandma knows what's up.
I want to turn into that.
Do you want me to shroud us in shadow and we can sneak our
well,
way through?
before
So,
we do that,
Not
I have a question.
conspicuous at all.
Wait, but
No,
mask
no
of
one will
many
even know we're
faces.
there.
Mask of many faces doesn't affect your clothing.
So I take off my.
Go on.
Sorry.
This is the new uniform of the sommeliers in Sharn.
So I have two questions though.
Gotta make sure you're not stealing a bottle.
One of them, what kind of races are normally in this house? Do we know that information?
The Amante Syndicate is non-discriminant. They're a very equal opportunity crime organization.
While they're discussing on what to do next, I'm going to go ahead and change into like a human maid,
Sure.
just in case
Male
if
or
I get.
female or androgynous?
We're going to go with a maid with the short skirt.
Oh, okay.
We're going to go like
strengths,
that.
yeah.
We're gonna go like that. So
So
that,
a male in a short skirt.
exactly.
Work.
So, and then while they're doing that, I'm gonna put my ear up to the door also while they're talking to see if I hear anything outside the door.
Okay, so Changeling also does not govern your clothing. So just what
No.
you're telling me is that you brought along a maid's short skirt.
Of course she did.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, you never know when I'm in a big house what I
That's
gotta
your
go
go-to.
sneak into.
All right.
I would like to
A reporter
ask
and a
on-
maid costume.
I
Okay.
would like to ask on Mask of Many Faces though.
Those are your two costumes.
Yes.
That's all we get.
Okay.
Disguise self does say including clothing, armor,
All right.
weapons.
Oh,
all
so
that.
that's the illusion one, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Not alter self.
It
Got
won't
it.
hold up. Like so, if they come up and they hit my hat, it's gonna.
Yeah,
happen,
good, great.
right?
I'm into it.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
they're not going to see
I was double
us.
checking.
Yeah,
It was
we're
Mask
not
of Many Faces that I thought I wasn't sure which.
I did also bring a whole disguise kit. I wrote it down.
You wrote it down, like all the pieces of the disguise kit?
Fake
You know,
mustache?
it's got normal
Makeup.
stuff, face paints and whatnots, and
Prosthetic,
mustaches and
whatnot.
prosthetic noses and eyes.
Well,
and,
hold on.
not
right,
eyes.
They're
but
not going
other
to.
things.
I will shroud us in shadows. They won't even see us. We don't need. We don't.
I'm gonna need a
disguise.
little more detail about what that means.
Well, with paintings, there might be a
I
lot
mean,
of lighting.
is a shadow just going to be following us? That's not.
No, we
'Cause
will
that's
be
gonna be
cloaked.
real
We will
obvious.
be. It'll be as if we are invisible, sort of.
We'll do
You
that.
will be.
Everybody make a
super
stealth
been
check.
saying, he's been saying.
Everybody make a stealth
I
check.
was saving
Right
it. It takes a lot of
now.
my ki. I have to expend a lot of my internal energies. So you will all get plus 10 on your stealth check
Well,
as long as you. Oh
No, not yet.
No, I haven't cast it yet.
This is about your conversation and how much noise you're making while you're
I
conversing.
did make a lot of noise. Yeah. 13.
13,
22.
22.
18. Now, remember, I had my ear up to the door. Do I get an advantage on that?
16.
To just because I'm listening also into the door.
I would say that an 18 is as much of an advantage as you're going to get. And,
That's
and
true.
everybody, you were able to kind of hush people as you could hear footsteps coming down the corridor.
Okay.
So there is a door. There is
Do the shadows now.
a ceiling grate.
Okay.
Do the shadows now.
Is that?
Oh, do the shadow thing? I thought you said hide the shadows.
Like now.
Okay. I'm going to expend 2 key points to do the what is it? My Mask of Shadows, the
Pass without a trace.
Shadow Arts, Pass
Shadow
Without
Arts.
Trace using my
Gotcha.
Shadow Arts.
Okay. All right. The air around you seems to dim, and the sound seems to muffle a bit, making it not impairing your ability to hear the footsteps coming down the hall, as they seem to slow and stop in front of the door and turn towards the door.
I jump up and hide in the ceiling.
Okay.
She hears this.
So I'm kind of pointing to everybody and like explaining like.
Now you can jump up and hide in the ceiling.
I hide behind a reasonable object. I'm very small. I just squeeze
Where's the shadow at?
between the object
It's
and the
within
wall.
30 feet of me.
It's within
Stay
30
within
feet.
30
so
feet of me.
I try to like, as I'm telling them, I'm walking into like a corner too, like a corner in the wall, and I'm gonna press myself within the shadow of the corner of the wall, and try to sit as slowly or as tight as I can and silent. But if for some reason they say something, I'd like to ready like my feather duster.
You're going to dust them?
I'm gonna dust the wall.
Oh, like you're cleaning.
Yes.
Okay, so you, so the room is, roughly, we'll call it a 40 by 40 room, because why not?
So stay within 30 feet of me.
And we will say that you jump to the ceiling,
Right above the door. Straight up.
just right above the door.
Yeah.
Okay. You have moved towards a corner, and you are readying your duster to dust a cask. in the corner of the room.
You know what? I'm not like this. I'm gonna be like this in the corner, so in case they come in.
Okay, so just like ass out. Got it.
Yeah.
Your method
I'm
stealth.
hiding within the shroud, but additionally behind something. I'm
Like
gonna
a cast. We had a bunch of them.
Yeah, I'm
reasonable
gonna
option.
I'm gonna knock one of those arrows.
One of the knockout arrows?
I'm gonna knock a knockout arrow. Yes.
Okay. Are you readying to knock out?
Yes.
Okay.
Arlo looks down, looks across his shoulders, sees how big he is, understands that there's nothing in this room that's going to obfuscate that.
Dress like a sommelier, though.
Say again?
You
Make
do
your
look
face
like a
look
sommelier
snobby.
now, right?
Yeah.
You changed your appearance to what you
but
believe
it's
a
like,
sommelier
so a
looks like.
foot taller or shorter, can I do a foot narrower?
You can appear that way.
Yes, okay.
Sure.
All right. So I'm going to appear that way, and I'm going to appear like a dandy with the ruffled.
So no longer a sommelier?
No, I'm not doing that. I've got another plan. And then I'm
boy.
going to just walk over a little bit towards the maid. And what I am prepping is if we are noticed, I am going to act like I'm kissing her because people are
Fair
very
enough.
uncomfortable with public displays of affection.
The door, the latch on the door turns. In walks a human-esque looking figure. Some might say humanoid. Dressed as a sommelier.
Uh-oh.
Who takes a couple steps in.
Oh no, his nose.
Leads himself by the nose as if he really enjoys the task at hand. Starts to make his way into the room, eyes closed.
I'm gonna knock him out.
Sniffing.
I'm gonna.
You just gonna let it go?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me an attack roll. At advantage, because he can't see you. Gotta play by the rules.
I'm glad he couldn't smell us.
Yet.
That's a nat 20.
Woo!
Number one grandma.
That's why I got you on the team.
So the difference with the so short bow is usually a d6. The difference with the blunted arrows is they're a d4.
Okay.
So but you crit, so you get 2. What is it? Hold on.
It was a 4.
A 4. Okay, good. Because I just want to build suspense.
That's a 1.
Plus your.
So that would be so I just do the regular for the
You just
even
add
though
your-
it's the blunt arrow. Okay, that would be 6 and then 9, so 15.
Okay. So he's opens his eyes to look towards the cask, sees the maid and the dandy, and then the blunt end of a knockout arrow strikes him, bloodying his nose, sending him sprawling, and he appears to be unmoving on the floor.
Woo, did
Okay,
you
so
kill
we
him?
let's check. I check his pulse.
Give me a medicine check.
Does
Put it in your
anyone
bag of
actually know how to do that?
I mean, you just like put your fingers.
I
It's super easy.
What'd you get?
I rolled a 1 and I have a -1, so that's.
You think he's dead. His chest is clearly rising and falling.
But
You think
I'm
he's
pretty
dead.
sure I killed him.
You're pretty sure he's dead.
We should just put him in your bag of holding to hide the evidence.
We could take my bottle out.
I mean,
He's dead. I don't
he
know
will
what-
run out of air in 10 minutes.
He's
She
dead.
murdered him.
He is not dead.
She blew his head
Do
up
you
with
see
a
his
blunt-
chest?
I
right
just
there?
tried to check for a pulse. He's
You
dead.
don't know, like, your eyesight.
I've killed this man. We have to give him last rites.
Right?
The last ride is dumping him in the bag.
Can I pull out my mirror from my thieves toolkit and then put it under his nose to see if there's like?
Yeah.
Okay, so
He's-
I do
he's
that to
alive.
see. Okay, so he's still alive.
Wow, my bad. At
Yeah,
this.
but if he wakes up here, if he wakes up here,
Gag.
Stuff
we'll
works
Do we
out.
have rope?
We'll gag him. We'll tie him up.
Do
and
we have
we'll
rope?
hide
we
him.
have to. We can't
How
leave a
much rope do you
trace.
need?
We can put him in one of
150 feet of
the barrels,
We can put him in the bag of holding.
whichever is
Whose
clever.
idea was that?
Yeah, I'll
That's
give
why
you
you
the
hired
sticker
me,
later.
right?
Yeah, that's obviously why I hired you. If we put him in the bag of holding, nothing is left, and he dies a horrible, agonizing death as he asphyxiates. in an extra-dimensional space.
Strategic.
Well, I've
Very strategic.
already gone through the mourning process for this man, so
Is there
I say
anything
we
that he's
just do
wearing
it.
that would signify that he's an important person here in this house?
I mean, he's in a tuxedo.
Hey, you can wear his tuxedo.
No, I can just make it look like a tuxedo.
You can
Do
wear
you
a
think that would
tuxedo.
fit me?
No, I have my cool ninja outfit.
Yeah.
He's
but-
fashion forward. So I just want to keep moving us along here a little bit.
So we're
So
going to
th-
stick him in the bag, right?
yeah.
Definitely.
You're the boss.
Okay,
Should we cut him into pieces first?
So gauging by the weight of the sommelier, you would have to leave the wine behind.
All of it?
All right, maybe
The
we
cast?
can shove him. Maybe we shove him down the grate.
Yeah, let's shove him up the grate. Yeah.
If he is still alive, though.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Well, that's why we tie him up, and then you shove him down the grate so he flies. He
No,
goes
then
down.
he wakes up.
Oh,
We
no,
gotta,
they
we'll
drown.
Face
have to
first
kill
into
him.
the sludge.
He'll drown. Yeah.
Throw him in
A
a
slow and
foot first,
agonizing
then.
death.
But if they
You
find
have
the
somebody
body,
who is clearly addicted to wine in a wine cellar, and we're still resorting to killing? Just asking.
That's a good one. So let's grab a couple bottles, put it around him,
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and
we'll
like
pour it all over
and
him.
and make it look like he's just a complete drunk.
That's why
But
I
you got to
added
use the
him
really
to
good
the
stuff
team.
because he.
That's
would
why.
only
Yeah,
take
we're
the
gonna
really
add the DM to the
He
team.
can't use the really good
I
stuff.
just want to make sure that everybody is like aware of all of the types of options.
That is true.
And this is your one freebie. So moving forward, I expect you to think outside of the boxed wine without.
So listen,
We go
my,
right to
my
killing
team
so
kinda
fast.
kills, right? My team just moves forward and kills, but these are great ideas. I've taken them under consideration. We should make it look like he's passed out drunk.
Okay.
Great idea.
Great idea.
Now DMs at home, that might have felt a little heavy-handed, but so is murder hoboing. So if you want to curb that, flex your
Players
your
at
feelings
home,
a little bit.
we have gainful employment and a home, so we're technically not a hobo.
Exactly.
In your defense. All right. So get some really good wine. Find the best wine. Pour it on him. And
Best wine?
Not the best wine.
He's a wine nose guy. That's what
That's-
he does.
Yeah, but
That
he's not going to take what the employers are going to be really mad about.
Yes, he would. He goes for the
Nah,
best.
I'm with
No.
Grandma.
Did you see that dude? He was walking with his nose.
He was like, what was the third best? That's what he was thinking. As a wine person, I know.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. All right, let's do
Chardonnay.
it. We pop up in the third best. We pour it on him. Let's
I'm just going to assume that you guys have some idea of what the third best in this cellar would be.
she's an expert.
For Chardonnay.
Well, we take the third
Not
best
just,
Chardonnay.
not just
Okay.
Chardonnay.
All
It just
right.
might be my favorite, but I like.
All right, fine. So you pour it all over him, slosh it all over him, put the handle of the bottle in his hand, and slide him up against the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a little bit in his mouth.
I was just saying,
Not
we
enough
should
to
probably
drown
put it in
him,
his
so
mouth.
that
If she
he
has not
thinks
done
that he
so,
was
I pick
drinking.
up
and
the
just-
arrow.
You
So
pick
that when
up
he
the
talks, it still has a
Oh
music
yeah,
sticker.
thank you for
Ooh.
remembering.
You give
I
yourself
get
a sticker.
Yeah.
All
Want me
right.
to peel it for you,
Can I
buddy?
peel it?
I got one
okay.
right here. Peeled. Here's something from-
So
My half-orc fingers.
So as you so now we have the door, we have the sommelier framed in the corner. We have an air grate above, and we have a grate leading down to the sewage. And you can even see that, like, with the way that you've poured the wine, like, there's a reason that they've put that grate here. So, what would you like to do now? There's clearly there's an
Let's go.
active presence somewhere in this
go.
Are
building.
we still shadowed?
Yes.
Yeah,
Stay
10
within
minutes.
30
Let's
feet of me.
walk.
Let's go. The clock is
We
ticking.
got to find it in 10 minutes.
Let's go.
Or
I'll
8
lead the way.
minutes. Or 7. Or
All right, who's taking the lead? You are? Go ahead and give me your stealth check. We'll let this work for everybody, and you can go ahead and do the +10 to it. It'll be fine.
Yes.
Nice.
So we call that a nat 1. Well, plus 15. So I got a 16 on a 1.
The lucky for you, skill checks don't crit in either direction. So a 16 is going to be enough for you to make your way out the door. Check both directions. What it looks like to you is a corridor that goes out and takes turns away from you, as if just a box for the most part.
So both right and left, and then it turns 90 degrees away from us.
Yeah.
Understood.
So you're at not an intersection, but this is the door for this room. There's a left, there's a right, and it looks like both of them will shoot. We'll call it north.
Let's go right, because it's always right.
I thought it was always left, but okay. Let's go
'cause then
right.
you're not right.
You've been right so far.
That's why you hired me, right?
Yeah, that's
So you
exactly.
lead around to the right,
Yes.
and as you peer around the corner to your left, you see 2 doors, and then the corridor continues down and takes another left.
2 doors. Let's go.
I open the doors.
Should we listen at the doors first?
So you
Yeah.
you,
That's
you
why you
walk
hired me.
down and open both doors.
Should we, can
Hey,
I stop
your
him
mirror,
as
use
he
your-
tries
use
to
your,
just open this door?
Make me a grappling check,
Oh,
and you
no.
can contest it.
No.
Oh, I don't need to contest it. If I see her trying to stop me,
Okay.
I stop.
So she grabs onto your arm, and you stop before you open the doors.
What?
I think
We're
we
on the
should
clock
just
here.
listen first, see if there's
Oh, okay,
anything.
we'll do that. Let
Yeah,
me know. Hurry up.
just do a quick.
You can give me, I'm going to say investigation, because I like investigation.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, I'm
well,
going to go
that
around
wasn't
to the
so
next
good.
corner and use my little silver mirror to look around the next corner.
Okay. You look around the next corner, and you see that the corridor continues down and takes another left. But before you would get to that, in the center of the corridor, there is a stairwell that goes up.
It was a 5.
A 5. Which door did you check?
The
There's
one
one
that
to
he
your
was
right and one
about
to your
to
left.
open.
He said both, so I don't know.
You were trying
I always go left first. So
All right,
we're
then
left.
that
Okay.
one. Yeah.
So you listen in there, and it sounds to you, you hear a little bit of like laughing, a little bit of kind of like snickering back and forth, some taunting, some interesting like moments. You hear coins kind of clattering against wood, and you hear like a sharp like flick every now and then. Does anyone speak Goblin?
She's a pinochle expert.
I think I know that they're playing cards,
Okay, very good.
but I do not speak Goblin.
Okay,
I know the clink of coins and the sound of cards
Okay.
by heart, though.
So what's behind that one?
Card playing. They're gambling
Alright,
in
what's
there.
in this next
They're
one?
gambling in there. We should go in there.
No, we should not. And listen, you've got to think about little Timmy.
You're right. You're right.
Very well.
Next time. We'll come back later. After we get the painting, get out, we'll come back.
Sure.
you could double
I mean,
our
I'm lying to
earnings.
you right now, but sure. All right. What's in this one?
We'll listen to that one.
okay.
Another
You listen
check?
up to that one. You don't need any type of check to hear that it seems pretty quiet in there.
All right, let's
I
crack
open
the door.
It appears to be the domicile of a sommelier. There are wine calendars, multiple ones, displaying different vintages along the walls.
Okay.
There is a very immaculately kept open closet with basically just different occasions of sommelier dresswear. And there is a desk with some photographs and they're not photographs.
Do I
but
see any keys on the desk?
it does not appear that there are any keys per se on the desk.
Okay. That's all of a glance I'm going to do. I'm going to
keep
continue
moving, keep
to.
moving, keep
Before we do, I want to grab one of the outfits out of the closet and kind of fold it up really quick and stick it in one of my sacks, just to keep it in case I need to use it for later.
Okay,
Okay, cool.
sure.
Keep moving.
So you keep moving around the corner. You see the stairwell.
And it keeps going. It's like connects in a square on the other side, we're thinking.
If you take the time to go around it, you see that there is a square. There is another door opposite of where the sommelier was, and you see that there is another door that would lead into the center room.
That was the goblin gambling room.
I mean, as far
So
as you
there's-
can tell.
Theoretically, there's one that enters into that room, and there's another room that might be like the sommelier's room.
A second sommelier?
A second room. There's two doors on each side, essentially.
Yeah, that mirrors the, yeah.
So let's go listen to the opposite sommelier room, just quick. See if there's anything
Very
there.
quickly.
Anything?
Yes, as you near it, you hear what appears to be flirtatious giggling.
We ignore it. Keep moving.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
We got to take the stairs.
Not right now.
This is her bag. Okay. So,
Painting.
wait, do we know? Wasn't this thing supposed to be in the basement?
Yeah, we keep going up,
I
right?
don't know, like,
The
how
stairs-
big is a basement?
I don't know. You're the boss.
What defines a basement?
The bottom.
Whoa, is that a koan?
I don't know.
That was very existential of you.
Very much so.
In the monastery, we pondered riddles like there's a koan. It has
Well,
no
that's
message.
why you flunked out. So,
Wait, are you challenging my monastic tradition?
listen, we've got to be quiet. Remember, strategic.
Strategically knock you out.
Strategic. All right, listen. So, yeah, it's supposed to be in the basement. Why? We can't just keep going up. It's supposed to be in the basement.
All right, so let's go in.
All right, let's go flirt.
I was gonna say, can I, if we have to get to the basement, can I guiding hand us to the basement, or is that not? Oh, we are in the basement. Okay. So I have to. I have
This
to.
is a sub basement.
What makes a basement? Seriously.
It's below the men. It's like,
So, we could go up another level and theoretically still be below the ground.
is it a parking garage? Like how many levels is it?
I don't know.
Okay, so who do
Well,
we?
let's just search. If this is theoretically the basement, it's the lowest level. So let's search. There's two. We have to search this place.
All right, let's
We
go.
gotta-
Change into something sultry.
She's always sultry.
I'm gonna stay as the maid, if that's fine, and then I'll go and.
Oh, yeah. Not my taste, but maybe it'll do.
Who doesn't like to mess with the help, you know? So.
Let's do it. Go. So
Okay.
Do you want to get your arrow ready in case things go awry? We'll burst in. Give it your signal. Your secret word is. What's your secret word?
Frank
secret
and
word.
beans.
Banana.
Banana.
Banana. Okay.
Banana. All right.
All right. So where is this person at?
What person?
So okay. So I have to go up into the
giggly,
door.
Flirtatious giggling.
So there's
We're
a
gonna go to
door.
the Flirtatious giggle
Like,
door.
I'm not really sure how. So basically, we got a square room in the center.
Okay.
So it appears. We have the room that you guys were in,
Okay.
that you came in, and then around to the right there was the room for the sommelier.
Okay.
Essentially, using that the wine cellar as your base for reference. If you were to gone to the left, there's a room that now has flirtatious giggling.
That's
Okay.
the one, that's the
In
one.
the center, there seems to be cards being played. At least that's what your pinochle grandma says.
With
and
two
then-
different doors to it, right?
With
From
two
either
different
side.
doors,
Yep.
seems to be from each side. And then on the top, or at the top of this cross, I guess, is a staircase that leads up.
Okay. And you guys want me to go through the
Flirty.
the flirty room? Okay. So I ready my duster, and I open the door like someone that's coming in, into your hotel room to clean it, But I don't have to knock because
Yeah,
it's
your
whatever
room,
room.
you clean
So
It appears locked,
it appears locked.
and you've now made a little bit of noise.
So I knock on the door and with my changed voice, I go, "Hola, housekeeping."
It's flawless.
It appears that everyone inside, it sounds like everyone inside just freezes.
Do you need to clean the room? Do you need me? Necesito limpiar. Hello.
You just hear kind of whispering. I thought you were the maid. I thought you. Wait, did they get another maid? I don't think so.
I'm new. Maybe you guys already cleaned the room. Okay, I will move on to the next room.
Are they gonna go? I don't know. We can't be caught. Don't do. Just pretend like you're not here.
What is happening right now?
Cleaning supplies, that's what the
I say that fairly
I'm just, I'm
loudly.
just waiting for someone to say banana.
If you are the owner, I need some more Windex. I need to clean the windows. Do you know where I could find that? I am new.
Owner? Why would a new maid think the owner lives here?
Hey, ask him if this is still the basement one level up.
How do they know? I don't know.
I am so confused. Yo no sé qué hacer. I'm so lost right now.
You hear a little bit of shuffling from the other side of the door, and then the door starts to kind of creak open a little bit, and you see a maid look back at you, dressed in her almost identical fineries,
Okay.
with a duster, readied. She kind of steps out a little bit, like closes the door behind her. She goes, "Hi."
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Necesito ayuda. Soy nueva. No sé qué hacer. I just start speaking another language, obviously, to her, and hoping that she's understanding what I'm saying.
So no, the owner would definitely not be in there. He would have no reason to be down here in the maids' quarters with me, you.
Oh, you don't
You should
speak.
just go.
You don't speak. Okay.
So you need to be.
I
shown
need help.
things?
Just-
Okay,
just-
sure. And she like grabs your arm and then looks around and sees the three of you.
So listen.
No.
Where are we still in the basement? If we go one level up,
Who are
like
they?
is this entire area
I turn
here
around,
the
I go,
basement?
I don't know. They came in with me through the back door where the hire comes in. I
Yeah,
don't know.
listen,
Who are
we're
you?
here for the artwork.
Oh.
We're
a
our
moving
employer
company.
won the auction earlier tonight. I think you were down here diddle daddling, but we won the artwork. We're here to pick it up.
So with that, you hear the door kind of open, and there's somebody like stuffing their shirt back into their pants, and looks out at you, and it's one of the largest goblins you've ever seen.
I look over at the maid and I wink at her.
She just blushes. He goes, "All right, who are you?"
Banana.
I attack him and punch him in the head.
Okay,
Arrows.
I am trying to grapple with the bag of holding.
Over his head.
I'm literally trying
his
to
head?
scoop him up in the bag of holding.
Oh,
It's a lot at once.
yeah, okay. So I normally would do random initiative, but it doesn't seem as though, like, I feel like the easiest way to fire these off right now is actually just going to be to do a standard initiative roll. So everybody but Cindy can give me initiative.
13.
Okay.
I'm on a
19.
9.
So as you ready yourself to punch forward, and as you grab one of your knockout arrows, the bag of holding, he lifts up the bag of holding, opens it wide in order to engulf him, and a cask of wine drops on top of the goblin,
It's a quarter-ton cask of wine.
flattening him. I'm not even going to roll for damage. And you see the wood kind of bow and flex with the impact on the ground, and red seeps out over the floor.
I meant to do that. There was no choice.
The maid goes,
I punch her.
Well, as she's screaming, I grab my duster and I shove it in her mouth and I pull her back into
Put her in the
up
bag.
to the bed.
Put her in the bag.
Okay, so I'm about to go towards the bed, and then I hear him put her in the bag, and I go to turn around again. So there's
Okay, so-
obviously some grappling that's going on.
so the order of events like this is how this just played out in my head. You open the bag, the cask falls on the goblin. It starts to, like, red starts to spill out over the floor. She screams. You grab her, shove the duster in her mouth. She gets punched in the face and then flipped into the bag of holding.
Well,
That's correct.
Yes, but the only thing is that when she's screaming, she still has my arm, right? Because she had grabbed onto me to like lead me into the room at that point, right? Right before this happened.
She wasn't doing anything but screaming.
Well, before she screamed.
She did grab your arm, but I think that when the goblin walked out into the hallway, she probably just like stepped back.
She got all
Okay,
blushy.
okay. So yeah, so then that's exactly what happened.
Okay. So the maid, the mouth duster,
The mouth duster. That's exactly what it is.
tumble back into the bag of holding, and you hear the vacuum just suck her away.
Bingo.
We need to get the goblin in here now. And then I'm going to clean up this wine, that wine that's spilling out under it.
We could bring the maid back out and have her do it.
No, that's fine.
She's-
We'll do the
she's like-
prestidigitation and we will all be done with it.
Yeah, she's had a long day. So I start getting the body of the goblin into the bag, and then I'm getting ready to prestidigitate. I just verbed that. the
stain.
wine that was spilling under the goblin. Like Arlo thinks it was the red was wine that spilled.
Are we gonna shove the wine cask in on top of her in the bag of holding?
We gotta. We can't just leave the mess.
We should. It's probably quicker.
I mean, she can enjoy her 10 minutes before she dies, at least.
Oh, she's done. There's not a, like it's vacuum. So.
All right, yeah.
While he's doing that, I'll search the room.
Okay, so you're gonna need, so you go and you kind of like push the cask back. You see the goblin who has been turned into some sort of carpaccio.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, and there's a mix of blood and some wine that seems to be seeping out of the what would have been the front of the wooden cask. This is not anywhere near what I planned.
It never is.
No, it never is.
Well, that's why you send the A-team like this. I mean,
Yes, right, to
That's why
deal
I
with
chose
all of the
all of
unknowns.
you.
So you get, so you're able to push that back. You can see that he's basically flattened in front of you like a tartar.
To
And
be clear, I didn't necessarily mean to do that.
Oh no.
I thought you had a plan. I have a crowbar. I'm just gonna use the crowbar to like pull him up off the, pull the pancake up off the floor, and we'll just like shovel it right on in.
okay, so goblin and maid now in extra dimensional space. There's not enough room for the cask.
Well, what's in this room? Do we see a good place to hide it?
It's maid's chambers.
Can I go ahead
Oh,
and
we
also
frame her.
change my
She
look
was
to look like the
stealing-
maid?
She was stealing wine.
Okay.
She was definitely stealing wine.
Obviously,
Frame her.
she was.
Yeah.
I have the expensive bottle that you wax
Yeah.
sealed, right?
Yeah.
We
hold
will
on to
use that
We
too.
keep that. We keep that.
Well,
I see
we
that.
could hide
Oh,
that
save
under
that for you.
her.
That's for you.
We could hide the second best
I
one
am
under her bed.
prestidigitating the floor.
Yeah, okay.
We'll move the cask into the maid's room. Did you find the painting?
It's
Blood
in the
stains, wine
it's
stains.
basically there.
All right, let's keep moving. We got the clock's
All right.
ticking on this
Yeah.
stealth. We're so stealthy. We got to.
So I just want to understand the scenario here.
Oh, we should also like. I don't know. Is it possible we could pack up her stuff, make it look like she ran away?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna disguise
Let's take
myself
much
as her.
time.
I'm gonna take her
Takes so much
identity.
time. We got it.
All
We
right,
got.
got it. She's already took the clothes. We're good.
I'm gonna take her
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
identity. Do I see anything in the room that would say her name?
No. Not that I'm aware of. Okay, so you're putting the maid and the goblin in the bag, the wine cask in her bed.
In a room, just like
In
she
the
was
room?
trying to steal it.
Closet?
Yeah, and then.
Yeah. Let's just keep moving. We gotta keep moving. We gotta keep moving.
Okay.
Really, like,
Well, it's like she broke it. She felt guilty.
She was
She
having
didn't
an
want to
affair
get
with a
fired,
sommelier.
so she ran away.
yeah.
I'll
Okay.
take the fault for if something happens. I'll say, oh yeah, I have a problem.
Okay. Okay. All right, so then where are you going next?
It's all happening so fast, but I
It-
think
it
it makes
is.
sense.
Well, the clock is ticking on this stealth thing.
You're
So
right.
Should we? I mean, we did such a good job with this one. Should we go into the main room where there's a whole bunch of people, or? Because
I
does
doubt
that
the
sound
painting's
like,
in there,
If
right?
that was a game room, right? Wouldn't you have your
Why would
nice
you have
let's
a
go
nice
up.
painting where goblins are playing cards? Not to be prejudiced against goblins.
I don't have any art. I'm like,
Let's go up
Let's
and
go.
see if it's still
Well,
I
based
agree
on-
with him.
Okay, so
We should have asked the maid.
inspecting up the stairs, you are able to see that is basically the first floor. It's the main floor. The floors are.
so the basement.
is no
Okay,
basement.
we're going.
All right.
All right, so
here.
we've got two doors, right? So what we could do a pincer maneuver, right? So she goes in, does her maid routine, right? And once she yells banana, we pop in from the two doors, two different sides. We get them from all sides.
And then I can pour the bag over their head, and 2 dead bodies will flash. The new.
Oh, I could
No,
give
no,
I could
no,
give
no,
the
no.
goblins the snacks I brought.
What I
could
could
bribe
I could
them.
lift them up. I've got my my pole, right? It's a quarterstaff and get really long. I could just like do some sort of flip them up in the air, and then you catch them in the bag. And that way you don't dump any of the
That
bodies.
sounds
out.
very complicated.
I say we make it simple. I'm gonna look for a tray in the main area. Is there a tray that I can probably find around here?
A tray?
Like a tray, any sort of
Yeah,
tray.
the
It could be
maid
like a
did-
makeup
or the
tray, like with
sommelier or
perfumes or
We'll,
something like
we'll,
that.
we'll say there's a
So
makeup
I'm
tray.
gonna grab the tray. I'm gonna get your snacks, and I'm gonna
Yes.
walk in and pretend that I'm going in there to serve
Scout
them.
it out. Scout it out.
I'm gonna serve them.
Great idea.
Here are the snacks.
That's
I've,
why
I've brought
I
a
brought you
selection
along.
of Werther's originals.
Fantastic.
You're such
I'm
a
gonna
good grandmother.
I'm gonna pull out the tray.
I'm keeping one.
I'm ready to go in and go serve
Yeah,
them.
ready.
And like I said, I look like the maid that we just took out. So
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so but theoretically, don't fight if you like. Just get the lay of the land, come out, see if that's
Only say banana if you need to.
Banana?
I will see if anybody wants to eat a banana.
Well, we
or grab them a banana. So.
Well, we don't want to. Ideally, we don't have to go through this again. If we can just go and do a quick little roundabout.
Okay.
And then we'll
So
wait by the 2 different doors, right? So we get 2. We can come pincer maneuver.
Okay, who's on
side.
each door?
I am left always.
So I'll be on the right.
So I'm gonna go into the room with the goblins that
Go
are
on the left
playing
with him, 'cause he's
cards that
loud.
we think that they're playing cards, correct?
Okay, so that I am aware of what this looks like. When you say on the right and on the left, you mean the opposite doors on the opposite sides of the room? Or do you mean to the left or the right of the one
so
door
there's-
that you're
There's
next
a door on either side, right? The room is like
I'm on the left of the left door.
to? Right.
So it's
This
a
room
double
has
open.
3 doors?
No, there's 2
No.
doors. It's like imagine it's
Wrong.
Imagine this. It's like this, right? There's a door
That's
on
what
either
I was
side. If this is
picturing,
the
yeah.
room, there's a door on either side, right?
Yes.
I'm on the left
Yeah.
with him.
So you're on the left of the. You're on the right of the left door. He's on
right
the
of
left
the
of the
left
left
door,
door, and
yes.
I'm on the right door by myself.
Right.
Okay.
And maybe you'll go in on the right door.
I will go in on the right
so,
door.
So we're on the right. You're on the left. Let's do this.
Okay.
Has she left yet?
Are you right?
I have not. No.
Okay. So you go in the right door
Yeah.
from the left side.
Yeah.
And as you go to open the door holding the snacks, you can see there are 4 goblins
Okay.
sitting there playing cards. They kind of look over at you real fast, and then they look up to see what they try and see, like the tray.
Yeah.
But you're
Hello,
clearly
gentlemen.
taller.
I brought you some treats today, and I sound just like the maid
Sure,
that.
yeah.
So hello, gentlemen. I brought you some treats, besides these ones, of course.
They, the majority of them start to put their cards down and look at you. Behind them, you see what looks like a stash of art-type materials, different pieces from different galleries and whatnot. And in the corner, you see what you're looking for, the happy catapult.
So we
Okay.
can hear her through the door. Can I try to sneak in while she's distracting them?
Give me
You're
a
out of my.
performance check.
Okay. I think.
Let's see how good you are at playing me.
This is her thing. She's
All
got
right.
props too.
Performance. Oh shit. Sorry, excuse me. Oh shoot. That is a nat 1, but it is 6. That is not good.
Okay. So you don't get them to like fully, like they don't get up and like come to you. They just kind of like glance over at you. Maybe one of them does, but the majority of them are really concentrated on their card game. So they're right in the center of the room. I would say that it's probably about 20 feet
Okay.
to either door from where they are. And then you can see all of the loot behind them.
Okay.
And in front of them is kind of a spread of like weapons and other stuff nearby.
Okay, I can, in my peripheral vision, I see everything, but I'm not gonna pay notice to it.
Sure.
I'm gonna just continue to act like the maid, and I'm gonna walk up to the table. I'm gonna set down the little treats that I got for in front of everybody, or to the side of everybody if they have something in front of them. And then after when I'm done, I'm gonna kind of pull down my little maid top a little bit and kind of adjust myself and be like, and can I get any of you any drinks? Is there any sort of wine or ales that I can maybe get any of you gentlemen?
Okay, while this is happening, back outside the room, meanwhile, back outside the room, what are you doing now? What is the execution like
Waiting to
here?
see what on earth is about to happen.
I'm pressed against the wall, just hidden.
Yeah, because your door is closed.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to crack the door ever so slightly, peek in, see how well distracted by her they are.
Okay, since I will give me a stealth check. We'll say that you still have the bonus.
That is 16. Oh, I have the.
So yeah.
26.
So 26
Yeah.
and you're adding 10. Okay, so you're able to crack the door open just enough to see that their attention is shifted to her. She is standing there with, did you open the door? Did you close the door behind you when you came in? Or?
No, I left it open. I just kind of left it open and walked in.
Okay, so you left the door open, you walked in. You can see around there, and then you can also make out. You can't make out anything on the far end of the room, but you can make out the art that is there.
So I can see what we're there for.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that, are they all looking at her at that moment?
Yeah.
I can
You are on the other side. You can't do anything like that.
Do they? So cracking the door though, I'm going to twirl very intentionally over to her side and look through the door too. Can I see the same thing?
Yes, make me an acrobatics check.
Oh, geez.
Intentional twirling.
That's an 8.
As you do,
Oh no.
you trip over her,
Okay. So,
sending both of you sprawling and the door creaking open.
hey, this is where you are. I've been looking all over for you guys. I heard there was a big game going on down here.
The goblin's head snaps around.
Hey, listen, I'm a high roller in the park
I
where
quickly
I'm from.
pull out my decks of cards. We're ready. We're here.
Listen, yeah. Can we join in here?
Can I run in? I've got a 45 speed. Can I
Oh,
run
oh.
in behind them while they're looking?
Deception checks.
If they go look over.
Oh, that is
That's
a
not
16.
bad. That's a 15.
Woo!
Okay, so they're like, they kind of like look back and forth at each other.
Start shuffling those
I
cards.
was told this is.
Just like in the air, you're
Yeah,
just
I'm
like
like,
break
I'm doing
open
all
two
kinds of
boxes, like
fancy
start
shuffles.
shuffling them in there.
I was told
Okay.
that this is where the real action was.
All right, so they're pretty engaged in what you're doing. They kind of look back and forth. Meanwhile,
I want to run over to the painting and grab it. From
you
behind.
run over to the painting and grab it.
Is it behind them?
It is
They're all
behind.
staring at him, right?
I
I want to stealth over and grab that thing.
So-
I'll use step of the wind if I have to, and that gives me so I can move
Up there, it's
135
like playing
feet.
cards with my brother's kids. I mean, I need the real action here.
No, I've got that. We've got them well convinced that you guys.
You're still convincing them.
The question is that they're sitting like essentially at a round table with 4. So like if he goes in and grabs the thing,
If they can keep up their, if
Do-
you just
do
start
I-
shark shuffling and do crazy, it's like if you can keep their attention on it, I will stealth. I've got the
From the angle where
pass
we
without
are,
trace. I'll sneak right behind them. Grab
do
it.
I think that if I edge into the table unceremoniously, I can kind of make them shift their chairs in a way that would
Yeah.
angle them away from?
okay, let's just make a imaginary chair appear behind the door to the left. You, because you fell in such an unceremonious fashion, that is something that you did see. So you can get up and grab the chair and
I
walk.
grab the chair and I'm kind of walking over. Hey, you need to scooch over. Make some room.
Okay, so now their backs would be more toward the monk, and the maid is kind of in the middle. So you essentially have this kind of setup here with me being the maid.
And then
obviously.
wherever I think the most risk is of him being seen, I'm gonna say, okay, come here, darling, come here. Can you make sure that you fill all the glasses at the table here? And I'm basically just trying to prompt her to lean in and be in the way. a
I
little bit more.
strut towards him to try to bring attention to my like puffed out short skirt with my hips and kind of be like, yes, of course. And I kind of hike up my skirt a little bit
Yeah,
too.
yeah, this plan all works for the most part. So you make your way, you basically sprint in. Give me a stealth check. You know what? Normally I would say this should be at disadvantage, but you're a shadow monk. You're using,
Got past without trace.
yeah, pass without trace, and
And
you
a
know,
killer team.
a killer
That's
team
exactly right.
doing a very good. I'm going to give you advantage on this, even without your grease.
Play with advantage. 30.
You
Natural.
You have no problem getting over to it. The painting is quite large, so you kind of like reach around it, go to lift it up. Well, as you grasp your hands around it, you can see that there is a little plaque in front of it, and like kind of like on the frame, and it says, "The Symphony of War."
Oh, it's the wrong painting. I'll grab it anyway.
Okay. You grab it, you lift it up, and what you hear is the screams and agony of soldiers dying on a battlefield. Did you actually make that noise, though?
No.
Okay.
That'd be amazing.
And every head in the room turns toward you.
So as we all hear the scream, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna imitate the scream that the maid made, and I'm gonna scream really loud too at the same time, and hope that maybe I can distract them from my screaming.
Their head turns back to you.
We all start screaming.
As that happened, I grabbed my dagger that's in my inner thigh and I poked myself and I go, "Oh, can someone help me, please? I'm bleeding."
She's bleeding. She's about to
I
pass
hurt
out.
myself. It must have been
Get
the
in
pen
there
on the
and
table.
suck out the poison.
Yeah, please, anyone.
Is the painting large enough? Can we fit it through the hole we came in through? Isn't that great?
You would not be able to.
So there goes that plan. I was just gonna step the one out of here and like.
Can't we take it off the stretchers and roll it up?
Yeah,
could.
but not when they're chasing me.
Well,
So
aren't they all? How?
We're in a freeze frame of time right now where there's quite a lot for them to process between the painting and make me a perception check there, Mr. Monk. And then also with the maid screaming, everyone's screaming. Actually, everybody make me perception checks.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
22.
15.
18.
Okay, so you all notice slightly different things. You two notice that all of your screaming seems to have alerted somebody outside of the staircase, and that there is chatter and what sounds like heavy boots coming down the stairs. You notice that the goblins are licking their lips. You notice that your finger seems to be pressing a button on the side of...
Like an alarm style button?
kind of.
I'll move my finger.
The screaming stops. At least from the painting. I assume the rest of you are still
we
screaming.
calmed down
Yes.
a little bit. Oh, such a traumatic event. Is anybody going to help her?
Please, I need help. And I'm like, falling to the floor, like super dramatically. Like, I can't
Just-
walk. I need
and then
help. Carry me, please.
I'm trying to code a little bit, and I'm like, just remember, it doesn't actually matter what happens to her. It's just that her is out of here.
I'm just.
And I'm like
casual-
almost winking in the air.
And I'm trying to ask the goblins, and I'm asking the one that's kind of more on the side of the table where he would be at. And I'm like, "You, big boy, can you carry me, please? And you, I need a doctor. Call a doctor."
I'm just gonna casually walk towards the door holding the painting, like nothing happened.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
okay.
follow him out the door, knock an arrow to the direction where the boot steps are coming from.
Okay. Which door are you going out of?
The door I came in.
Okay. So, you casually start to walk out the door. You put your cards away.
It's like as if it's my job to just carry paintings around, like totally
I'm
normal.
Yes,
yeah. I
you
put 'em-
clearly look like that guy.
Totally.
You put the cards away and start to walk out of the room. You start to, and one or two of the goblins seems to actually start to do what you're requesting. And then one of them goes, "Wait a minute!" It slings everything off the table, stands up on top of me. He goes, "What?"
You're a fast talker. This is your
Listen.
chance. This is why we hired you.
Listen, you're going to ruin this. Listen, you're going to ruin this. Come here.
I'm
We have no time. Come here.
I'm standing here,
Listen.
so I can be eye to eye with you, so I can tell if you're lying to me.
Okay, listen. I can't say it out loud.
How else could you say it?
Out soft in your ear.
He leans a little closer.
Listen, I am undercover. I've been tracking a group of people within the syndicate. I'm internal affairs. They have been sent to steal a cask of wine from right here inside the basement. That's where we are, right? The basement, yes. I am investigating, and you're blowing my investigation right now with your shenanigans. So just get down off the table and let me do my job.
That doesn't make any sense.
The syndicate has internal affairs?
You wouldn't know about us, because if you knew about us, then people would think that they could just get away with anything by paying off people in IA. That's how we do
persuasion
things.
check. With, you know what? Let's see.
I thought you were the brilliant face man.
No, just flat. Let's just see where this goes.
I feel like I faced it. That is an 18. Woo!
Brilliant face man.
He kind of looks at you and he goes. He looks over at the other goblins, acting a little bit more self-important. Just kind of like steps down off the table. He goes, so are we gonna play cards, or what? And he makes a way too over-the-top wink towards you.
I know. Let's have a spelling contest.
Okay, you just blew your cover. They don't care anymore.
My leg.
Spelling contest? Your leg? Wait.
Yes, I need as many of you to take me to my room, please. And maybe
looks at
some of
you.
you can help get this out.
Yes? Okay, so you can now make me a deception check.
Okay.
Well, I'll let you pick performance or deception. I think either one of them is fine.
Oh my gosh. 8.
Okay.
She's very bad at her job, but she's part of the team.
All right, why not? The goblins do stop and go to pick you up, and then lead you to the room. They.
I told him to go out the other door though that we didn't hear, that isn't open. I told him
Yeah, that would be the one
that's the
closest
fastest
to your,
way.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the one that's closest to the maid's quarters.
Perfect.
So they pick you up and move you towards the maid's quarters. The boots coming down the stairs see them holding you in front of a cask of wine that should not be there.
No, we slid the cask of wine into the
Yeah,
room.
we hid
It's
that.
in the room, but they're opening the room, going in and taking her in there.
Didn't we hide under her bed?
You're in, what did you hide under a
The,
bed?
the smashed cask.
No,
A
we just-
cask of wine under a
we just
bed?
threw it in
No,
there.
it's
We just threw it in
smashed, so
there.
it's flat.
What?
we just threw it in there willy-nilly. Remember we ransacked her room?
It's okay. It's okay. I got this.
Oh boy.
Okay. And they stop, or the person that was coming down, a guard,
Hey.
heavy armor, lowers a halberd.
What's your name? Talking to the goblin that was on the table.
He kind of looks up and he's like,
He's carrying her.
He's
So
one of
there's
them.
4 goblins.
Are there? Okay,
Yeah.
the other 2 goblins. That's who I'm addressing right now.
the other 2, all 4 of them are carrying her.
Oh, okay. Wow. Kind of meaty. No, so then I walk.
Thick.
I walk out there. I walk out there, and wherever the guard is, I say, "Listen, I'm with. Come here. I can't say this out loud.
The guard starts to take steps backwards.
Backwards. What's
He's
happening?
making his way back.
No, listen. Hey, I will have your shield and your halberd if you do not come back here. I am on an important mission, and it is happening right now. I've got the evidence right here in this room.
Evident.
Someone
stops.
within the syndicate is trying to steal and pilfer from your master's wine cellar.
He goes,
Oh, you can friend us, Molly.
what syndicate?
You know what I'm talking about. Big wink.
He starts edging back again.
So with the silence, I kind of buck and fall to make my skirt kind of go up to get his attention to hopefully make him stop. And I'm
Sure.
like, and I look at the guard and I go, call the doctor. Why is nobody calling the doctor?
All right, wait.
He does recognize you. So we'll say that he goes, oh my, are you hurt?
This
And I
woman
turn
needs
around.
medical attention.
And I kind of pull my skirt down from the back and I pull it up from the front and I go, look. And I show him like the little tiny baby drop of blood that's falling. And I'm like, it hurts so bad. Being overly dramatic.
Okay, sure, yeah. And he's like, okay, I'll go get you a doctor, and I'll bring some other guards